I've talked in my previous video about the benefits of technical exercises. I know that it's a subject that's not terribly popular, but it is a necessary element in your development as a piano player. However, what I want to talk about here are some pitfalls to avoid when you practice technical exercises. The first thing you want to be aware of is to avoid mindless repetition. You don't want to be playing your exercises like a robot. You're going to end up building bad habits. If you're not really paying attention to what you're doing, you may neglect your posture. You may find yourself sitting like this and playing your exercises. You may neglect your hand position, and I'll talk more about hand position in a little bit. Think about what you're doing. Pay attention to what your body is doing. Remember all the muscles that are involved in playing the piano and in doing technical exercises. Engage your ears. Engage your brain. Focus on the evenness of your tone and the quality of your movement. Another pitfall to avoid is concentrating on speed over control. In other words, take, for example, once again, the first exercise of Hanon. If you're trying to play it really fast, you may end up with tension and sloppy playing. And then the worst case scenario, you might hurt yourself. Whenever you're practicing a technical exercise, and I'm using Hanon as an example because everybody has practiced Hanon at some point, start slowly, stay relaxed, and only increase the speed when you feel that you can play it evenly and accurately. Another pitfall to avoid when doing technical exercises is to ignore proper hand position. This is one of those basic things that any good piano teacher is going to talk to you about. Poor posture is when you let your knuckles collapse or your fingers go flat, and this can cause fatigue and it limits your technique severely. Remember to keep a rounded hand shape with your wrist low, your fingers relaxed. You can use a mirror or record yourself to check your form. You can check everything, your posture and your fingers, your hand position, and so on. Practicing without a goal. Random playing, it doesn't build specific skills. In other words, when you begin to practice a technical exercise, set a clear goal for yourself. What am I going to work on today? Am I going to practice exercises that will help me with finger independence, an exercise that helps me with phrasing, dynamic control? You want to have a goal for every time you practice technical exercises. Another pitfall is to avoid the metronome. Now, I can do a whole video on why you should use a metronome, but here, inconsistent rhythm can hide the weaknesses in your playing and limit your progress. And so what you can do is use a metronome to develop steady timing and gradually build speed with control. Now, let me show you something really quick. There are apps, and those of you who are phone savvy, probably more savvy than I am, being a rather old fella. Let's see, I got to find this particular app. I just downloaded this recently. Now, I remember the old days when you had metronomes with the pendulum that swings back and forth. Somewhere in this vast studio of mine, I've got my old metronome, and my main computer has a built-in metronome when I use the recording software. But basically here on my iPhone is an app that is simply called Metronome. And so you can hit the little thing here. And let's see. Can you all hear that? Not a very beautiful sound. This is set at 74 beats per minute. That will make you practice a Hanon exercise very slowly. And I can, let's see, it's hard to do this in front of the camera. I can speed it up. I just realized something really funny. And I'm going to leave this in the video because this is crazy. I did a video a long time ago where I talked to you about how the fact that I am wearing hearing aids. Unfortunately, I have begun to lose my hearing. Hopefully, I won't lose it all someday. And what happens is whenever my iPhone makes a sound, and this is probably why you're going, well, I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. That's because it's being streamed directly to my hearing aids. So what I got to do is go in here. Let's see. And I got to turn off Bluetooth. All right. Now I've turned Bluetooth off. Now I'm going to go back to the metronome app. Now you should be able to hear it. All right. Now hoping that's coming through. Let's see. I'll turn the volume up a bit. Oh, there we go. I told you this is not a very beautiful sound. Okay, that's too fast. So if we slow it down to like, let's say 76, you start with a typical hand exercise, or you can play a scale. Really slow, getting your fingers in there, and you go through every key. Once again, this helps you with your music theory. Anyway, you can see how this particular app, simply called Metronome, obviously this sound can get a little annoying if that's all you're listening to. I'll turn it off. Anyway, sorry about the technical problems there, but that's what happens when you're wearing hearing aids and they're connected by Bluetooth. Another pitfall to avoid when practicing technical exercises is tensing up. This can be a real problem. You can end up with tension in your hands, tension in your shoulders, tension in your neck. This causes fatigue and, once again, the risk of injury. When you're practicing, and remember, you don't have to be practicing for hours and hours and hours. We're talking maybe 15 minutes. Check in with your body. Stay loose, especially in the wrists, the shoulders. Sometimes you have to stop and do something like this to loosen up. It's one of those exercises that I've taught people. Another pitfall to avoid is lack of variety. It can be a problem if you end up repeating the same exercise the same way every day. This creates mental and physical stagnation. And so what you want to do instead is change up the rhythm, the articulation, the dynamics, play exercises in different keys, play different kinds of exercises. This is why I have demonstrated a variety of exercises on this channel in the technique playlist. And I'm going to do a video where I put all of these different types of exercises into one video so you can see the different kinds of technical exercises that you can do. One other pitfall to avoid is skipping the warm-up. You know, cold muscles and joints are more prone to strain. Any athlete will tell you, I don't just get out there and, well, not me personally, but a runner doesn't just get out there and start sprinting. They stretch and they warm up and they jog or they walk real slow. And so when you do your technical exercises, you want to start with something very gentle, very simple, before you jump into something more demanding. Remember, think like an athlete. You're a hand athlete. So technique, it's not just about fingers, remember. It's all the muscles that are involved, and it's about the sound that you're making. Focus on the quality of every note you play, even just in the technical exercises. And that creates a bridge between mere technique and expression. Now, there's a lot more that I could say about that. You could even write a whole book about it. So this is just a quick introduction. We've talked now about why technical exercises are so beneficial, why they're necessary for your development as a piano player. And now I've gone over some of the pitfalls to avoid and some of the things you can do to help you. And next, I want to talk about some specific types of technical exercises, many of which I've already demonstrated in separate videos on my channel, but I'm going to put them all together into one video so that you can get an overall view of what you can do to develop all those muscles that are involved in playing your favorite songs and then be able to play them with more fluidity. I use that word, and I'm not sure I know what it means. Kind of like inconceivable. Playing more fluidly. I don't know. You know what I'm saying. Smoothly, with more expression, with more confidence, and relaxed. Those are all the good results of practicing technical exercises. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, leave those in the comment section. I respond to every comment. And you can support my work on Patreon. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. That helps the channel as well. Thanks again. I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.